In terms of being vital for this Man City team, on his current form, how does he compare to a player like Kevin De Bruyne for City? Don.
I think he's up there, Kay. I think there's a number of players. I think Kevin De Bruyne is a little bit different. I think he's more dynamic. He can take players on. He's quicker over the turf. But when you want someone who's tactically astounding, you go back probably, 3 or 4 years ago when David Silva was playing, or 5 or 6 years ago when he was at his absolute peak. I think now you're starting to maybe compare the two and go, there's probably not that much difference between the two of them, because the two of them are just outstanding individuals and outstanding technicians.
What do you make of him, Shaka?
It's been absolutely incredible, and Don is right. The reaction to players and Pep Guardiola offering you that exit. A few years ago, we were having the same discussion about Gundogan, and look at how important he has developed to be for Pep Guardiola and Manchester City. And he's absolutely right. It's about a mentality. If you don't feel you fit here, you're welcome to leave. But if you are here, you know that competition is going to be high. You are going to have to be at your absolute best. And the response for Bernardo Silva, while we praise Pep for how he manages his team, how he manages the individuals, you also have to give the individual a lot of credit for that response. You've seen lesser players fold, but then Bernardo steps up and steps up to be the player that he is. Technically simply outstanding. He's important for this team, probably their most important player right now, to your previous question, though Kevin De Bruyne is still, for me, City's greatest asset. But right now, I don't think there's a player playing better football or better suited to Manchester City and what's needed.
But just to pick back up on the point that Don was making about Pep Guardiola, and I know you said you have to give the player credit too, what does it tell us about his experience and how he is as a manager, LA?
Like any elite manager in the world, you're going to test your players. Now, some go by the way of yelling and screaming and putting you out there and hanging you out to dry, or putting you out in the media, which is never something that you should do. But there are managers out there that's a way they communicate. With Pep Guardiola, it was a test for Bernardo Silva. And the question that I think in so many ways he was able to put forth to Bernardo Silva is, where in the world are you going to have it better than here? If you thrive in this environment, you are going to be not only one of the best players at Manchester City, you're going to be one of the best players in the world. The ability of Manchester City and the setup that Pep Guardiola has for Manchester City to allow players to rotate in and out of positions, it is a perfect match for Bernardo Silva, who can drift in and out of different positions and be successful doing that. That's what he was referring to, Pep Guardiola, that he can play 6, 7 different positions because he has that sort of brain. And you have to have that sort of brain to play the style that Manchester City wants to play. So at some point, I imagine that Bernardo Silva, while he was getting all upset and worked up, oh my goodness, I'm not getting to play, he must have thought, well, what am I going to do? Where am I going to go? Where is it going to be better than here? And who is going to give me the opportunity to play all these different positions, have all these different roles in a manner in which I can be successful? It was a no-brainer. It would have been dumb of Bernardo Silva to leave. He would have been a fool to leave. He's not a fool, and he's shown it out on the field.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN+.